Welcome to African Mysteries, where ancient whispers, dark secrets, and untold legends come to life. These stories are based on folklore, real experiences, and cultural beliefs. Viewer discretion is advised. Let the mystery begin. Episode 1: The Sacred Room of No Return. In the bustling city of Akanzo, where neon lights clashed with ancient traditions, stood a church that was both a sanctuary and a spectacle. Blood River Ministries International. Its founder, Prophet Kwaku Medu, was more than just a man of God. To his millions of followers, he was a divine oracle, a holy man whose prayers could pull riches from heaven and cast out demons with a single breath. But inside his home, behind the grandeur and gold-framed portraits, was a locked door, a forbidden door. The locals whispered about it. The servants crossed themselves near it. Even the pets avoided that wing of the mansion. That door led to what the family called the sacred room. Only two people ever entered it: Prophet Kwaku himself and his mother, Mama Uduak, a woman with eyes as sharp as cutlass steel and a voice that could freeze boiling water. They claimed the room was ancestral, a holy sanctuary that protected the family's spiritual legacy. But behind closed doors, it was a ritual chamber, one with a thirst for blood and secrets. Those who dared to question it didn't live long enough to ask twice. The prophet's daughter, Afimadu, had always been curious. She wasn't just another churchgoer hypnotized by her father's so-called miracles. She grew up in the mansion. She saw the way the house changed on Fridays, how shadows stretched longer, how the air grew heavy with smoke, and how tribal drums began to beat from within that cursed room. And it always began the same way. Every Friday night, Prophet Kwaku would strip himself bare, naked as the day he was born, and walk into the sacred room with nothing but a candle in hand. The door would slam behind him, and the drumming would start, not from speakers, not from musicians, from something else, something living. He wouldn't return until Monday morning, just in time to appear at the pulpit and perform his prophetic wonders. But Afi knew what happened in that room. She knew because she'd seen the snake. Yes, the snake. It wasn't a metaphor. It wasn't some spiritual symbol. It was real, long as a car, blacker than coal, with gold-rimmed eyes that looked straight into your mind. The snake lived in the house. She'd seen it slither from under her father's door and vanish into the floorboards. Sometimes it would leave early on Sunday before her father, and she'd see it again later, curled near the altar, invisible to the crowd, whispering secrets into her father's ear. The snake told him who was sick, who was poor, who had cheated on their wife, and her father would prophesy the information as if God had spoken directly to him. People believed. They wept. They emptied their wallets. Some even donated houses. One old woman gave him her entire pension fund and walked home barefoot with a smile on her face. But Afi wasn't smiling because she also knew what happened to the curious ones. 6 family members had vanished over the years, nosy cousins, rebellious uncles, even a skeptical auntie who swore to expose everything. All of them had one thing in common. They tried to enter the room. She had seen 3 of them sneak in, bold, brave, or maybe just stupid, and they were never seen again. A few days later, they were found, not in the house, not anywhere nearby. They were discovered floating in distant rivers, mouths agape, skin pale. The official cause? Drowning. Funny. They had all as been seen stepping into a dry room at the back of a mansion. When Afi tried to raise questions, she was met with silence, then threats, then something worse. The moment she confronted Mama Uduak about the rituals, something inside her mind cracked. That very night, her sanity was snatched away like a rug from under her feet. For 6 months, she was gone. Mentally, emotionally, she couldn't recognize her own name. She screamed at mirrors. She scratched the walls like something was inside them. Doctors labeled it a psychotic break. Her father said it was stress, but Afi knew what it really was: a spiritual punishment. And when she finally regained her sanity, she tried to speak again, only now everyone looked at her with pity, like a ticking bomb. "Careful," they'd whisper. "You know how she gets." Any mention of the snake, the rituals, or the room, and people assumed she was slipping back into madness. But the final straw came when her mother returned. Afi's mother had died years ago. A mysterious fall down the stairs, though some family members whispered that it wasn't an accident. But one night, as Afi lay in her bed, the temperature dropped, the air grew thick, and the mirror began to fog, though no one had showered. Then she appeared, hovering, head twisted unnaturally to one side, a face that was once beautiful, now stretched and broken, still wearing the clothes she died in. Her lips moved slowly, without sound at first. Then the message came clear. "Stop talking, or I'll take you with me." The ghost was no stranger, it was her own mother. But whatever came back wasn't human anymore. It was a warning. After that, Afi ran. She left the mansion, left the city. She went into hiding, hoping to find peace. But she knew peace would never come as long as her father continued. Because every Friday, Prophet Kwaku still walked naked into that cursed room. Every Sunday, the snake still slithered into the church. And the congregation, blinded by false miracles, cheered louder than ever. What they didn't know was this: the prophet did not preach with the Holy Spirit. He preached with a serpent coiled around his soul and a ghost keeping watch over his secrets. And this was only the beginning. For more mysteries from the Motherland, hit that like button, subscribe, and tap the bell so you never miss a tale. Until next time, stay curious, stay cautious, and beware. Some legends are more than just stories.